Simon. I'm going to replace my weekly wrap-up video this week with a wrap-up on my Vidcon trip, which I just got back from. And if you're not familiar with Vidcon, what it is kind of an industry and fan show for online video. So it's got the trade show elements of booths and vendors and all these folks networking, along with probably 15 or 20,000 screaming fans of many YouTube channels, many of which I haven't heard of, but apparently they're very popular because you'll be walking around the halls and you would suddenly hear a scream and a rush of feet as they were trying to capture their favorite YouTube star who maybe walked in through the wrong door or something. It was kind of insane, actually. It was like a part rock concert, part serious business going on. This is a multi-billion-dollar business now, so it was kind of a neat contrast to kind of see both the inner workings of the industry along with the fans who consume all the content that's produced in it. What was most fascinating to me, though, was the fact that to a person, no matter what genre they're in on the online video space, all of these creators got started pretty much the same way. They got started, they put themselves in front of a camera and started talking much the same way that I do every week. And what was equally interesting was that unlike traditional media where normally you'd have to get discovered by a corporation or some other media entity and be put on camera and everything else, these folks were discovered by their fans who were accessing the platforms like YouTube and others to get them into their subscriber list, and suddenly those things would just kind of build up, as I've seen with my channel over the last year. We're just growing like crazy, and it's been awesome. And that was really, I think, the big thing for me was that I realized this thing was big. But to see the passion of these fans chasing these guys and gals around the show floor and all the parties and everything else, it was really, I think, an eye-opener for me just to kind of really paint the picture by just how much media has changed, especially for the young people, for the millennials on back to the kids in high school and earlier. That's their television now, and it's become my television now, for that matter. I'm 38. I remember watching TV off the rabbit ears on the top of the TV, but and then saw the cable progression and everything else. But now we're into something totally different, where I think the whole business model has kind of flipped around, where the creators are largely in charge. And ultimately, the fans are calling the shots. And what was interesting, I sat in on a couple of different panels from other creators, some really successful ones. And I went into areas, into panels that I wasn't familiar with, like the beauty industry with makeup and fashion and everything. I'm far from a fashion expert. And what was cool was just to hear that their start was the same as the folks entertaining some of the teens out there and some of the musicians and some of the consumer electronics people like me, is that they all got their start by starting, developing that relationship with fans, and then being very, very careful not to damage their own brand as they grew their channel. So a lot of these folks were turning down brand offers. They do it left and right from just about every person I saw and spoke with. And many others are also pushing back on the brands who want to advertise on their channel to say, no, we're going to do it my way because I value the relationship that I have with my fans. And for many of them, no amount of money could come in between that relationship. And I think that's a big change, because they're not dealing with a corporate partner telling them who to have on the channel and who to endorse. It's their choice because it's their brand, and ultimately it comes back to them. And that was really interesting to hear that, because if you look at the passion of these fans, I've seen passionate fans around MTV stars and other stuff back in my youth, and it doesn't equal what I saw here. It was really, there's a real familiarity that develops, and I even get that feeling from all of you, even though I speak to you via video and you interact back with comments and emails and stuff. I do feel like I can sense a relationship with some of you individually and collectively as a subscriber feed, and it's really something that is always on my mind when I'm making videos, because that's who I'm serving, and I'm not serving a corporate entity or anyone else. It's really serving the fans that are helping to grow this channel. So your investment of your time is really valuable to me, and I think that is something that was just completely apparent out there throughout, and every single successful YouTuber has been able to understand this and make it work for their channel, and I think that was really telling. The other thing that was interesting was that there was some interesting apps there from a number of different people, different developers, on kind of getting this shared experience thing going. So right now I put a video up, and I record it, I edit it, I upload it, and then we have this comment discussion in the comments feed, and that can go on for months. In fact, some of my videos I did 2.5 years ago, I'm still seeing active threads on. They kind of come and go. But there really hasn't been a way to kind of get a community built in real time around my content. Whenever I go live, we have that. There's some interaction and people are chatting and everything. But it's hard to really, for me unfortunately, to find the time to do the recorded reviews and go live as much as I would like. And there's been a number of apps out there now that will synchronize a YouTube playlist so that you can pop into this room essentially at any given time, see my content or anyone else's content running, and whenever you pop in, everyone who's watching that channel will see the exact same thing at the exact same time. So for example, if we're 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the video and there's 20 people in the room who watched that video from the start, when you come in, you will start right at the same time that everybody else is currently watching at. And I think that's really cool because you can begin to develop a way for fans of a channel to interact with each other. And that's something I've been really trying to do through my forums and through a bunch of other attempts at trying to do this. But this seems really interesting. So I'm going to start playing with a few of these apps to see where it works. One of them, I think, was called Coucher without the E. Allows me to have that playlist running, and then I could pop in live right in the middle of something. And if I saw there was a bunch of people in the Coucher room, I could just pop in and just say hi to everybody and have that conversation. So really neat stuff. And I saw a bunch of other live broadcasting apps that attempt to do similar things. But this notion of having like just a place where my stuff is running 24/7, where people can pop in and see who's there and chat and commiserate or whatever is pretty neat. You can even set up like different rooms for different types of content. So I could perhaps have a production playlist running for people that have an interest in video production. They could all be in one area. I could have one big one that just kind of runs everything, and then I could have another one that covers gaming. Whatever it is, like there's just a lot of neat things. And I saw a lot of stuff around that shared experience thing at Vidcon, which I thought was really intriguing to me. So I'm going to start experimenting with some of that stuff, so be on the lookout for that. And I just want to just kind of end it on this, is that Vidcon was a really, I think if you have the means to get there, it's in Anaheim, California every year around the time that I'm shooting this video, you should go. Even if you have just a passing interest in this whole YouTube thing, being there and seeing this interaction, I think really gives you an idea as to where this medium is going. And there's great panels. You really get to hear from a lot of top-end creators. It's probably gonna be hard to meet a lot of these creators individually because there's just so many people there and so many events going on. But I think it's really worth going to just to learn about this whole thing. Whether you're a fan or a creator or somebody that wants to break into the industry, it's well worth a visit. Just to watch the spectacle of it all was really kind of neat to see. So those are my thoughts on VidCon. It was just really, again, just neat to really finally just put everything together, because I live in Connecticut. I'm not near a lot of these other creators, and a lot of these other creators aren't near me or anyone else either. So having us all there to kind of share our experiences and to find out that our experiences are very similar in that we're all serving our subscriber base was really just fascinating to me, that we all are doing it the same way, even though we didn't communicate that necessarily to each other. And I think that was really the big takeaway there. So keep watching. I'll have more of my Business of YouTube series coming up. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on VidCon. Happy to answer any questions you have about the show or anything I learned there. So leave them in the comments below. And then one day soon, we'll get that shared experience channel coming up too. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.